Okay, everyone, welcome back to another week of finishing school. This week we're going to talk about Kalos. I think this boss is really easy, and I guess it really depends on how easy you want to make it. A lot of people will stack their parties and make sure their composition is really strong just so they can blast through the boss 6-man. But people who are doing solos, duos, it can be a little more challenging to play systems depending on how good your hands are. So let's get started. Here's a reminder. Please assign your roles. As always, we added some new roles for bossing, so make sure you check those out for adversary, baldrix, all those bosses. Kalos is a dog. Okay. As always, make sure you're using Maple Scouter to damage check yourself. This is the easiest way to tell if you can do a boss. It's a little different for this boss in particular because this boss relies on bursts instead of DPM. What that means is the classes who do a lot of damage in a really short amount of time can be a little weaker than some people who are DPM heavy, which is like they're attacking the entire time to unload all their damage. You just have to damage test with your party and see where you guys are at. There's no clear and concise way to tell if you are ready for this boss outside of literally just damage testing. Make sure that you have 200 for easy Kalos, 200 sack, 300 sack for normal Kalos, and 330 for C Kalos. The primary mechanic in this fight is the will gauge. We just call it the gauge. It pretty much fills up over time, the time being 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds it'll fill up to full. It used to be 20 seconds back then, so it was terrible. But when it is at full, you can shoot your shot, which means you press your interact button and a little targeting dummy, targeting arrow thing comes out. Think of this as like a combination of the slime mechanic plus Esfera PQ, except for this dial keeps going up and down. So it'll go up, down, up, down. You can use this to shoot a ball, shot that can hit some systems. We're going to talk about those shortly, to cleanse and make sure that no systems are up for the fight. In order to cleanse properly, you need to utilize your blink. I personally like using blink because it puts me closer to the system and I can kind of like slam dunk it there. But people who are more used to the boss can shoot from afar, shoot from different angles, etc., etc. Okay. Here's a quick demonstration of how you quote unquote slam dunk it. You would blink in the air close to whichever system is up, shoot your shot into it directly like that. It doesn't really matter where it's angled when it's up close. It does matter when you're far. So these are the 4 systems that you will be shooting. We're going to be talking about each of them. At any time, one of these buttons, I don't know, one of these little indicators come up and flash red. That means one of those systems comes up. The top left one will always be UFO. The top right one will always be right. The top bottom right one will be ball, and the bottom left one will be left. So these all start at different colors. It always starts at red, and as you continue shooting, it goes down, down, down to blue. They start neutrally at blue, a system comes up, it goes to red, you shoot a few shots in there, purple, a few more shots, indigo, and this is your indicator that like you only need a few more shots to put it back to blue and cleanse it. So let's talk about the UFO. As you can see from this little GIF right here, the UFO moves left to right across the map. If it starts moving left, it'll bump against the left wall before going back right. And then once it hits the right wall, it'll bump the right wall and go back left. Every now and then, it will shoot a laser beam downwards. This does continuous damage, a lot of continuous damage, so make sure that you're watching out for this. How to cleanse this? You have little laser beams that pop up once the UFO is up. As you can see from that GIF, this person is shooting their shot directly into that laser beam when the UFO crosses it. So that the red ball on the UFO, the red indicator, touches the laser that's going to shoot downwards. That counts as one cleanse or one shot. And all of these systems have different numbers of shots. This one requires 2 shots per party member to cleanse. So if you were doing solo, for example, you would only need 2 shots in its entirety when it is up. Versus you're doing a 6-man party, you're going to need 12 shots. And they don't have to come from different people. Everyone can shoot. If there's somebody who gets like 3 or 4 shots into UFO, into whatever system, that also counts. As long as you get your 12 shots in cumulatively. Okay. The next system is the ball. This is the most simple system. There's not really any major damage associated with it. It just does a little touch damage whenever it bounces. Unlike UFO, this is a ton of continuous damage. If you're standing directly below the laser beam, you're gonna get hit a ton. Here, it's just, it bounces and you get a little touch damage if you're standing on the ball. There are going to be 5 circles that appear on the ground. There are no indicators for them, but we usually call the farthest left one 1, and then you go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you remember this when you are doing callouts, because doing callouts for ball is very important. It moves like this. Usually starts somewhere on the map, goes up, down to that system, up, down to this system, 3, up, down to system 2, up, down to system 1. And then it'll go backwards from 1 up to 2, 2 to 3. And because these systems do have a cooldown for when you can shoot them again, if 2 people are shooting in the same system, for example, if the UFO is going to hit system 4 right here, based on the arrows, if 2 people, me and somebody else, hits the same system, not only is it going to go on cooldown, but both of our shots, only one of the shots is going to hit the system, so the other shot is wasted. It's very important for you to communicate, hey, I'm going to be I got 4, which means I got system 4, I'm going to hit that one. And then the people in your party can continue going back to 3, 2, 1. So make sure you're counting those. This is the indicator that shows when you're actually shooting the shot. Whenever the ball is about to hit it, you shoot your shot, a little blue circle is going to appear around it. That means one of your shots is cleansed. This, like UFO, requires 2 shots. One thing I should mention is the mini-map is really important to look at in this fight. The mini-map indicates which systems are up. They're going to change to red. So you can see the ball bounce on the mini-map. Once the ball hits the downward angle, these green angles right here, and if you can imagine, like when it goes backwards onto the other side, the green is going to be on this side, you can shoot your shot. So what that means is if the ball is touching the ceiling, you shoot, you should still be able to hit your shot because this circle lingers for a bit, and you can get it by the time it comes down here. If it's going on the upward trajectory instead of the downwards, upwards, and you cleanse during that time, you're going to miss that shot. If I hit this system 4, when it's moving upwards, I'm gonna miss my shot. But if it's moving downwards and I hit system 4, I will always hit my shot. Okay, enough on that. Let's go to the right system. Pretty simply, the right system shoots a ton of purple arrows, red if they're enhanced, enraged, towards the people in your party. The arrows are shared, they're not instanced. So if there's somebody in the party who has an iframe or is able to tank some of those, like Mihails, Paladins, etc., or have like extra recovery, they can tank arrows for the rest of the party. Otherwise, if you get hit by an arrow, you will be blinded. This is the regular blindness status that only you can see in like a small circle, and the rest of your screen is black. This is the first system that requires 3 shots per party member. So again, if I was soloing, this would require just 3 shots for me to shoot. If I was in a party of 6, however, that would take 18 shots. And that's where things get a little complicated. 18 shots is a lot. This is left system. This by far is the most dangerous system when it comes to Kalos. When it is up, you have to make sure that you prioritize cleansing this first above anything else. The reason why is left system will periodically shoot this red laser, and then the lasers continue to split depending on how low Kalos' HP is. This red laser towards some of the people in your party. I believe it's instanced. I could be lying. But it'll usually shoot at a location that you are standing at. If you get hit by it, you're going to be stunned, like the Saren stun, like you're not going to be able to move. This gets really tricky when you pair this with other systems. You know, like if you can imagine left system is up, you can't dodge arrows from the right system. Or if the UFO is going to be right above you, you're going to get a ton of ticks that hit you because you're stunned. A good strategy outside of literally just moving away from the arrow, there's going to the line indicator whenever the lasers come out is using your will skills preemptively. If you use your will skills before you get hit by this left laser, you're not going to be stunned. You'll still take the damage, but you won't be stunned by it. This is a good way to get out of FMAs, and we'll talk about that in a second. So again, to reiterate, make sure you cleanse the system, prioritize it because it is very, very dangerous. This again requires 3 shots, so 18 shots if you're in a party of 6. Okay, that was just the systems. Those will appear in P1 and P2. These are attacks specific to P1. Every now and then, there are going to be some random explosions that appear on the map. The only way to dodge them is stand in spaces where they're not at. They're deceptively large. These indicators don't show how big they are, but sometimes you can get trapped between 2 of them and lose 2 times 30, 60, yeah, HP. They don't matter that much, though. Kalos also has the ability to teleport. You can use this to your advantage. Think of like slime. When you're doing slime and you don't particularly feel like you're safe because you're potion locked or whatever have you, you can have him teleport to one of the location that you're standing at on the map and then move to a different spot. You just kind of get used to this one. He has his flames. He's going to shoot flames from his eyes. If you are standing anywhere near him, you're pretty much going to get hit. It's kind of annoying. It does 70% HP, and it does not leave any DOT or anything on the ground. You're inevitably going to get hit by one of these every now and then. It's fine. Just be careful when you are low HP. This is the attack I hate the most in P1, because usually I'm trying to stand behind him as much as possible instead of in front of him, because he does another attack that we're going to talk about in a second. This is his bomb. He's going to shoot a bomb backwards, kind of like a fart. He's shaking his GameStop booty. This one does 40% damage behind him. So as long as you're in the front, you're good. This is the attack that I'm talking about. I like to stand behind him specifically for this slam attack. You're going to get 30% HP every time he does this, and a knockback and a stun. It's not annoying. These things don't last as long as, say, like the laser stun from left system, but the knockback, being stunned for a second just in case, like an explosion or one of the flames hits you, it can be really annoying. And finally, we have the FMA. Every 3 minutes, it gets a little tricky with origin timers and bind timers because those timers aren't accounted for in the 3 minutes. So, like if you do both origin and regular bind in P1, you're gonna have to add 20 seconds to the time until he does the FMA. The easiest way to tell is he's going to have an indicator these words initiating an annihilation protocol in red. It's a pretty visible banner. It's going to appear directly on your screen. Anytime you see annihilation protocol, to get away from him. He's going to do this large explosion attack. And if you are standing on the same platform or the platform above him, he's going to hit you. You can optionally stand super far away on the same platform. I just like to make sure that he's not even in my vicinity, so I get to a spot where he's not on my screen. If I'm standing on the same platform, imagine him on the bottom. I don't have any escape options, so I go far, far right to escape. Or, optionally, you can stand on the platform below him. Like this otter right here, since Kalos is in the middle, he's going to hit top and middle area of middle platform. I go to the bottom and I'm completely safe, no matter where on the bottom I am. Directly below him, kind of next to him, etc., etc. This does 999% HP. So the only thing that can save you is a door. Otherwise, you're going to take the death. But more importantly, this starts a new system. So a system has a timer on the gauge itself when it's going to appear. This system is added on top of that. So you can imagine, okay, like natural systems, that's what we call the systems that appear naturally. We're shooting natural systems, yada, yada. Okay, he FMAs, now I have 2 systems to deal with, and then shortly after another natural system is gonna come up. So I have 3 systems to deal with. This can get really, really complicated. Luckily, P1 is a lot easier than P2. You have 2 strategies for binding and bursting. You can all load in. You all load in on the left side. He's going to load pretty much right in front of you. If everyone can load in quickly, everyone is in a summon class, doesn't need a lot of time to set up, you can bind him and burst him at the bottom left. However, if you have a party with a lot of summons, people need some time, there's a lot of latency, they take forever to get in, etc., you all go to the right, wait for the person who's, like delayed loading in, wait for them to go to the right, and eventually Kalos is either going to walk or teleport all the way to the rest of the party. When he's over on the right, you bind and burst. P1 doesn't really have anything complicated. Make sure that you're shooting all your shots and practicing. I find P1 a great starting point for people who are learning to shoot shots. You can dunk it, you can start practicing angles and making sure that you hit like UFO or a ball from a far distance. Make sure that you're cleansing the systems as much as possible. Otherwise, there's not really anything else to P1. Ideally, you want to stall, kind of like Saren. You want to stall a little in P1. You get him to about 20, 15, 10% HP, and you start just focusing systems. You turn all your summons, all your attacks off. Do systems, and if you need more time than 3 minutes for your party to phase into P2, he's going to do an FMA during that time. So once the FMA appears for the first time, you can bind and get out of there. But for parties that don't need to wait 3 minutes, say everyone's burst isn't doing enough damage to make sure that you guys can get out in your 2-minute burst, you just wait 2 minutes, FMA is not going to happen during that time, you guys send it to P2. Okay, that was a lot. Does anyone have any questions about P1? Great. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them in the chat. We're moving on to P2 now. So if you notice from the HP bar, if I even put one, Kalos P1 only has a single large HP bar. Starting in P2, he splits his HP bar into segments. Between each of these segments, there's a white indicator. Pay attention to these. Each of these segments is 25% of his health. 25, 50, or 75, 50, 25. At those white spots, he's going to do what's called the test, the FMA test. I don't want to use the word FMA so that we don't confuse it with the FMA that creates a new system. This is called the test. Again, make sure that you're looking at your mini-map. These bubbles do not show up on the mini-map, but just pay attention to approximately where they are. There's one on top left, mid or left, bottom right, top right. One of these bubbles is going to appear. Every time he does his FMA, you want to get inside the bubble before he does the electric shock that you see right here, the purple shock. Then another bubble is going to appear. Get in there before he does his electric shock. And then there's going to be a third bubble that appears. So 3 bubbles will appear each test. Make sure that you get in them before he does his shock. If you are all, let's just pretend this otter isn't in this party, right? If you are all inside of the bubble during the time that he does one of these tests, you will be safe. You won't fail the test. But otherwise, if there is somebody who isn't iframed or isn't able to get inside of the bubble during the time that he does the shock, you will fail the test. He recovers a little bit of HP and everything keeps going. Specifically though, during these bubbles, you are safe from every single mechanic in the fight, assuming that you're standing in the yellow bubble that is lit up. So what that means is if, God forbid, left system is up, if you get hit by the lasers, but you're inside of the bubble, you will be safe. Same thing with the arrows on the right. You will not get blinded. You will not take any of their damage. Also for UFO, you will not get the constant ticks of damage. However, if you are outside of the bubble or in one of the wrong spots where the bubble isn't lit up, you can still get hit. So we can kind of use this to our advantage. What a lot of people will do is they'll take the time during these tests to shoot, but say right system is up. Everyone's shooting. We got him to 75% HP. He starts the test. Arrows will continue to shoot during the time of the test. At least one set of arrows is going to shoot. So you can continue shooting right, but if the arrows shoot, make sure that you stay inside of the bubble, shoot your shots during the time that you're in the bubble, and then move out. After you finish those 3 explosions, 3 bubbles, he's going to go into groggy state. Think back to slime again. After you finish the slime test, he has that period of time where he's knocked out for a little bit, he's confused. Same thing with Kalos. You have approximately 15 seconds of that. You can do anything during this time. So what that means is you can cleanse, you can start bursting. Optimally, what parties will do is they will use this time to send their burst after he stands up. So remember slime, after he's done with his groggy state, he also stands up and continues attacking. After Kalos stands up, you origin bind, and then 10 seconds later, regular bind to get yourself almost 45 seconds or 35 seconds of bind. 35 seconds is huge. Most people can get their burst off in that time. It allows you to do a lot of damage without having to watch out for other attacks, move away, etc., etc. Okay. So there are a few attacks that reappear in P2 from P1. The explosions continue to happen, annoying, don't need to worry about them. He's going to teleport again. This one is a little flashier, you can see, and he's going to teleport to the location of any of the party members, so, you know, watch out. And there is an FMA. Again, Extermination Protocol Activated Annihilation begins. That little banner is going to pop up in the middle of your screen. And this time, he's going to shoot the lasers, you know, left. It's going to do the exact same thing as it did in P1, 999% HP, and a new system will come up. This also is on a 3-minute timer. It gets a little confusing because when you are doing tests, timers stop, etc., etc. One of the annoying things I've found is sometimes he'll do the startup, he'll do the wind up, and then the banner appears, but our parties will like kill and get to the test. Once he's up after Groggy, assuming that we don't bind, but you know, once he's up, he's going to continue shooting his FMA attack. So if you're all standing on top of him, you're going to get hit and killed by the FMA. It's really annoying. I hope Nexon fixes that. Here are a few more map attacks that you don't have to particularly worry about. This is the shoulder wing that starts appearing in the 2-2 segment. What that means is the second segment of P2. So after you knock out 25% HP at the start, that's 2-1. You do test, you go to 2-2 test, 2-3 test, 2-4. So in 2-2, starting in 2-2, he's going to have extra explosions, the shoulder wing. Don't worry about them. And then in 2-3, he's going to have the upper wing explosion. Again, don't worry about it. These are the Kalos servants. If you think back to the X-Lot presentation that we did, these function exactly the same. They'll hone in on your character and explode. They are attackable, which is nice. I think they're not attackable in like X Kalos, but you know. They're just annoying. Make sure you kite them, meaning you go to a location where they're where you can stand and let them explode. Before they do the explosion, you can hop back into the original position that you were in. These appear after 2-3. Okay. And then in 2-4, the final segment, the last 25% of Kalos' HP, a curse system is going to start. We don't talk a lot about this because most parties are getting through Kalos so fast that curses don't even take the time to appear. But these function exactly like the Damien curses. A little altar is going to be put in the middle of the map, just like in the middle spot you saw in the UI earlier. Anytime somebody has a curse, it'll show the numbers either 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3, you're dead. You can go up to this altar, hold your interact button, and cleanse to put yourself back at 0 out of 3. You can use this to your advantage, however, because one curse gives 15 additional % final damage. And 2 curses gives 20% extra final damage. You know, in turn, you take a little bit more damage, you take 20% extra damage, and 30% respectively. Okay, he has another knockback type attack. This one is particularly annoying because it's super knockback. So that means you can't resist it by, you know, like regular means of like attacks that resist knockbacks. There's actually 2 hits to this slap. He's going to hit with his right arm and then his left arm. Each of these hits do 35% HP, 70 total. So be very careful whenever you are seeing this. Usually what happens is he'll knock you back. You're not going to take extra damage from him because he's standing at a location that you know, like were previously at. You got knocked back far away. But systems can shoot during that time. Systems can hit and you're stuck there because you got knocked back for a second and stunned. This is the I-beam. Unlike the fire eyes from P1, these I-beams actually do leave trails of fire on the floor that do a little bit of damage over time. They do 20% ticks, but the more annoying thing is that it ignores any sort of stance. So now we have every class should have 100% stance all the time, but it ignores that, meaning that you are gonna get bounced around a little on these fires. Very annoying. The easiest way to mitigate that is anywhere that he shoots this, there will be a single space. It's random, a single space that is not shot with the DOT fires. Stand in that spot, you won't get hit by any of the DOT, and you're not going to get knocked back. You're just going to stand in a regular safe spot. This is the lightning attack. Most of the time, I don't even notice that happening. It's identical to like the Pikachu smash, where he's going to send this bolt that like shoots all the way downwards. The more annoying thing is it can hit you on the platforms above. I believe it does hit all three platforms if he's standing at the bottom or really close. It at least hits the platform directly above him. These are really hard to, because they're so fast, kind of hard to dodge. So don't worry too much about them, but make sure you're not getting hit by lightnings back to back. Lightnings plus other chip attacks back to back. This is one of his new attacks. A lot of people call this diamond because there's going to be a diamond. Some people call it portal. I call it what it is, a dive. He's going to go into that dimensional portal and then dive downwards at a random location on the map. The random location is determined by where everyone in the party is standing currently. So imagine I'm standing mid. That means I am on the middle platform in the middle area of the map. If he does this diamond indicator and goes up into it, he's going to dive approximately in mid. So my ideal goal is to get out of that spot as fast as possible. I can go anywhere on the map outside of mid and be completely safe. This gets tricky with more party members because you guys can be spread out and you're not sure where everyone is standing. So your goal is to go to a spot where someone was not previously standing when he does the dive. So what that means is, 1, whoever sees the dive needs to call it out, say dive. 2, if you hear a dive being called, do not go to a location that someone was previously standing in during the time of that call out. So if this otter sees the dive right here on the top right, mid right, whatever have you, does the call out, Kalos can move to any of these other otters, any of those random spots. So ideally, this otter will move here. The other otters do not want to land on the spots that the other one is on. This otter doesn't want to go here or here, and this otter doesn't want to go down or there. So they just move to a random spot where other people in the party were not standing at. This does 100% HP, but it's 3 hits, so it can break through doors. Be very cognizant of that. Very, very annoying. This is what I think is the most dangerous attack. Most people probably agree. He's going to do his laser breath attack that shoots across the map. It doesn't extend like all the way, but it covers like 75% of the map, so be very, very careful. It's only going to shoot horizontally, so if you're standing behind him or like directly above him or, you know, like away, you should be fine. However, if he does this laser right here, it'll hit most of this area. So anyone caught in this bottom platform will get hit. On top of that, the laser has the hitbox that extends to the platform directly above it. So anyone standing in this, the middle platforms, if they're standing in the left side of it, they're going to get hit by the laser. Your best spots to move are 1, behind him, or 2, go up to the platforms above him. Sometimes what I'll do is I will also blink upwards whenever I see him do the wind up for the breath, like breathe in. I blink, especially if I'm on the top platform and I don't have anywhere to go. He does the breath. If I'm blinked above where he's doing it, or above where the laser is going to be firing, I should be completely safe. This does 10 hits though. So it's an insta-death. It's going to break through doors. So the strategy for this fight, again, you bind and burst when you come in. Everyone is going to load in this middle area. Generally, I wait for my party members to all load in. Kalos is going to start at this bottom platform here. He has a few options of attacks. He's not going to do his like slam attack or like the fire eyes because you guys aren't standing anywhere near him. Usually he starts off with either a dive or a laser from this bottom platform. You all want to load in. When he starts the windup of either attack, you blink in the air directly on this middle platform. Don't go top left, don't go top right, directly in this middle platform. So in the off chance that he does dive, he's landing here because you guys were previously standing here. This can get really tricky for people who have latency, who take a lot of time to load in, because they can get hit by both dive and breath, whichever happens, during the time of load in, and they have no control over it. So if you know that you're playing with really high ping, make sure you let your party know, and you can say like, hey, I'm gonna load in slow. Please let me know in advance, or like, I'm gonna get hit here. Make sure you have enough lives for it. You bind. After he does that, burst, and then a system is going to come up shortly. There's going to be a little timer right below the gauge that shows you when the natural system is going to come up. Optimally, you want to prep your shot. What that means is when there are 5 seconds left on that timer, you hit your interactive button preemptively and just hold the shot. Don't double click it. Don't try to fire the shot. Just stall out until you know what system is coming up, and then you shoot it when the system is up. For example, if I get to, the timer says 5 seconds, I tell my party, prep shots. That means everyone's going to hit their interact button during that time. Imagine left system comes up, we're all going to have a shot ready to go into left. So the 18 shots that's required for the 6-man party is a little less tedious if you already have a shot loaded, and your gauge is gonna recover during that time, so you're gonna be pretty much like loaded for your second shot immediately after. Left system is very, very important to cleanse in this phase in particular. P1, it's like whatever, sometimes the laser shoots, just move out of the way. P2, again, because the left laser can stun you, he can hit you with anything. He can hit you with dives. He can hit you across the map with breaths. He can fling you around with flames or his slap. So ideally, your party's goal is to always prioritize cleansing left above the other systems. I also like to group up. So you see this otter right here? It's far away from the rest of the party. Sometimes we have a designated person to keep a scout out on what attack he's doing. They can call out dives, they can call out TPs, the teleports, etc., etc. But if all of the party is over here, he's going to teleport or dive in this general area. It's easy. It's much easier to see him in your peripheral than if he's all the way across the map and you can't see anything. So make sure that you are all grouping up. Unless you're, like a scouter and you can kind of move to where he is and then back immediately. Prioritize shooting left, as always. Once left system is down, you can send him into tests. There are a few strategies when it comes to bursting these segments. I'm going to talk about the more traditional strategy when you comes to like the UI party recruit bossing. And I'm going to talk about the strategy for weaker parties that maybe require everyone to burst. Usually, in a party UI situation, you're going to get split up to burst. That means you guys are probably overspec to do this boss, so only a few people have to burst per segment, and you can either stall or send it immediately. If you've ever heard the saying like 2-2-2 or 3-3, that means, the first one, 2 people are going to burst in 2-1. The second set of people designated are going to burst in 2-2. And the third designated group will burst in 2-3, and then we loop back to the first group for the final segment. Same thing with 3-3. 3 people are going to burst this segment. The other 3 are going to burst this segment. The first set of people are going to burst this segment, and then the second set are going to burst the final segment. This largely depends on Ories. It depends on how strong everyone is, bursts, etc., etc. So make sure that you have a game plan going into the fight before you guys get to P2. We usually type out who's going to be bursting per segment outside of the map, outside of the boss room, just so that everyone is aware, okay, during this time, I'm going to burst. The second way to do this fight is, say you're soloing or duoing, or like your party's doing Kalos for the first time. It's a little tougher to get all your damage out, and you need maybe 2 bursts to get out every segment. What you guys will do is, I'm just speaking for a party of 6, you guys are going to split Ories 2-2-2. So when you come in, you're going to burst him, 2 people Ori, and then you're going to get either halfway or a little over halfway. You have to stall 2 minutes after that time. I should mention the other strategy, the party UI one, does not require stall. Generally, these are people who are strong enough to blast through each segment, and everyone's burst should, or like the people who aren't bursting should not be bursting in the same segment as the people who are designated to burst, so that they have their burst by the time the next segment comes up. If you're doing the 2 bursts per segment, the solo, whatever have you, every single person in the party should be bursting. All 6 people attack, but only 2 people will origin per burst. After the time you guys finish burst, after the time that he is out of his stuns from bind and origin, make sure that you start focusing on systems. What that means is anytime a system comes up, be ready to cleanse it immediately, so that you're not getting overwhelmed by additional natural systems and his FMA systems that will come, depending on how strong your party is, usually 2-2, another 1-2-3, another 1-2-4. Does this make sense? I know it's really complicated to explain it over words, in words without seeing it. I find it also good to damage test for your party. What that means is you guys, go get into the fight and go out of P1 and see how much different compositions of bursts can do per segment. So if you're opting for a 2-2-2 strategy, pair 2 people who have relatively strong bursts together, or pair people who have like 1 weak, 1 strong burst to offset the damage. Or if you want to get out of particular segments like 2-3 and 2-4 very quickly, because they can get a little tricky to play in for a long time, you can make sure that the stronger bursts are during that time, and then the weaker ones for 2-2-2-1. I should also mention that there are options to either stall or send. So when you stall a segment, that means you put him at approximately 76, 51, 26% HP. You don't go into test immediately. You wait and you play the systems, make sure you shoot your shots. And then once everybody has about 30 to 40 seconds left on their cooldowns for burst, you guys will send it. Send it means push for damage, make sure that his HP bar goes to 75, 50, 25. Other people can send. That means we're not going to wait for cooldowns. We can push him into the next segment without having to stall at all. It really depends on the party composition, really depends on how your party is playing. If you guys are splitting bursts, they don't need to wait. There are a lot of factors that come into that, so just keep those things in mind as you're planning how you want to set your party up. That's pretty much it for the fight. There are no complicated mechanics when it comes to Kalos, but everything combined together can get really tricky. I find the systems are the most tricky part, not actually Kalos' attacks. So learning the systems and practicing on your own by getting into B1 and just doing shots is very, very important. Every single person needs to know how to shoot shots. He, again, like every boss, gives good money. The soul shard, this is the mag soul, looks really cute. More importantly though, he gives the white jade box all the way from easy to extreme. This is the box with extra chances of a level 4 and a level 3 ring. He gives cookies, as people call them, these residual determination fragments. Easy no longer gives any fragments, but starting in normal, you get 2 broken fragments that combine to 1 large fragment. 10 of these large fragments can make an eternal piece, either an eternal hat, top, bottom, or shoulder. On top of that, if you're doing chaos and above, he drops the armor box at a very, very low chance. Like, I haven't seen one on my main. This allows you to pick any of those 4 pieces directly without having to, get the traces up. People run this boss, especially normal mode, for the grindstone. This grindstone allows you to upgrade a level 4 ring to a level 5 ring. At a 10% chance, you can stack them. I think the math is you should be using them every time you get one at the 10% chance, because mathematically it's like exactly the same even if you do stack them for additional chances. So, yeah. Does anyone have any final questions about Kalos before we actually go practice?
Yeah, I had a question about P2.
Yeah, sure.
So, how do you position yourself in P2? Because I know, I know you want to, avoid, all of his attacks by basically, trying to be above him if you can. But, what do you do if he's, the top... if he teleports to the very top row, then, you just kind of sit at the bottom and wait and hope that he teleports soon, or...
Great question. I do want to clear up, we don't always want to be above him in P2. He just needs to be in your peripheral, anywhere in the vicinity of you, so that you can see him on your screen. Positioning largely depends on what you guys are doing. So when you load in, and after every test, he's going to be in groggy state in this mid platform, the middle area of the middle of the map in the middle platform. You're all going to burst and bind and whatever there. After that time, depending on the system, you guys group together in that vicinity. If left system is up, you all should be standing near the left side. Doesn't matter which platform. You can cover all 3 platforms. And, depending on what he does next, either the teleport or the dive or the laser, you move up or down as long as you're on the left side. Same thing with the right system. Yeah. If the right system comes up, you all should be on the right side together. Don't get into the habit of splitting up, specifically because dives can be very tricky. If he's on, in this example, he's on the bottom right, and the only otter that sees it is this guy. If he misses the indicator for the dive, he doesn't do the call out, Kalos can dive on him or anyone else over here. You don't want to let your party members get hit by the dive without telling them. But if Kalos was here on the bottom left side and all these other otters were seeing them, seeing Kalos, if he does the dive indicator, at least one person's gonna see, they're able to call it out, and you guys can just move accordingly. Like if you believe that he's going to dive on the top left platform because more than 3 or 4 people are on this platform, you just jump away downwards or jump to mid or jump one platform below. So yeah, short answer, it depends on what you're doing.
So like in a party, are you doing a lot more just like because of how the bursting is? Are you just doing a lot more prioritizing just cleansing systems than even like trying to attack him outside of burst?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is where kind of like my intro leads into. This boss is as complicated as you make it to be. If your party is very bad at shots, a lot of systems are going to come up, things are going to get really hectic. If your party doesn't have good burst, you guys will have to do a lot more DPM, continuously attacking. So you're going to have to be on him more frequently than the parties that have really strong bursts and are stalling. They can just stall, and during that time they focus exclusively on systems.
Okay.
There are a lot of factors that go into this thing. The only way to know exactly what you're doing is to test with your party and or just go in by yourself and see how you personally deal with these types of mechanics.
Okay.
Yeah, great question.
Right. Thank you.
Does anyone have any final questions? Anything they would like to add?
At the last health bar when there's curse, how long does the curse take off? Like, or do you get hit and you get a curse, or how does it work for solo purposes? Obviously,
the curse is over time. I'm not sure the exact time. It seems like 30 seconds or so. Optimally, if you're soloing, you want to try to keep about 2 curses on you so that you get the 20% FD. This altar also functions like the Damien one. So once somebody cleanses, it disappears. You guys want to take turns. Right. Almost never do parties actually deal with the altar. I should mention 2-4 is very hectic. So every time you die, the curse number above your head resets to 0. Just because you're dealing with like extra attacks in 2-4. But if multiple people were surviving for a really long time, they would have to plan how they want to cleanse the altar. You can say, hey guys, I need to cleanse. I think I'm pretty close. You go up and cleanse. The altar will reappear after a few seconds and let the next person go. Or if you hear someone already doing okay guys, I want to cleanse, let them go, and then you wait for the next one. Does that sort of answer it?
Okay. For the altar, is it an instant thing, or is it like Damien where you have a charge time and you can't get hit while you're doing it?
I don't believe you need to dodge stuff during that time. I believe it's one of the altars that as long as you're holding your interact button for how many ever seconds it takes, you should be safe, but don't quote me.
Gotcha, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any final questions? Perfect. All right, let's get to practice. Please meet me at channel 5 for normal Kalos practice. Okay, now that we're all here, let's go ahead and split the bursts. What that means is we're going to decide who bursts which segments. Usually you don't need an origin, or like if your party is like more than ready, you don't need an origin in P1. But in this case, we'll do it just for the point of demonstration. So in P1, I'm gonna type out. Let's do Volvita and Soul. P2. Sorry, that should be 2, 2, 1. 2, 2. And 2, 4.
So, wait, is 2-1 the hardest to do in phase 2 because you're not getting that stall phase at the start after test? Yeah.
You get less time to burst, but it's not difficult. It's not harder than any other phase. If you have a Jenny iframe immediately after as well, you get 30 out of your, 35 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. So what that means, what I just typed out, is those people are going to do origins during that time, just for the sake of demonstration. Usually what happens is in 2-1 parties will not all burst. They'll just let some people do the burst, and then 2-1, some other people do their burst and worry. 2-2, some other people do their burst and worry. Just for the sake of demonstration, everyone who's designated to like P1, 2-1, 2-2 are going to origin during those segments and burst. Everyone will be bursting together. So what that means is during the time after we finish those bursts, don't send. Allow him to stay at approximately 5 to 2 HP above the test threshold, and we'll send whenever we have 30 to 40 seconds left on our burst. Okay? I'll remind you guys when we get in there. Should be nice and easy. Is everyone ready to go into practice mode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're origining first and then binding, or binding and then origin?
Origining first and bind. Good question.
Okay.
And it can vary depending on, some classes do need their origin at the very end of their burst. So you both can worry. Just for the sake of demonstration. Okay, is everyone ready to go in?
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Let's go. I don't think anyone has a lot of latency or anything, so we can go ahead and just burst where we're standing. The folks assigned to P1, feel free to, once you load in, just send your origins.
Yeah, I'm origining.
Beautiful. Catching the bind after. You see there you have 20 seconds to send all your damage.
I got crit bind.
Oh, yeah, and we have crit bind. Okay. He's getting close to 20% to start slowing down your damage, turn any summons off. Let's get him to about 10%, and don't push any further than that. I'm going to put the fountain mid-mid. Usually that's the best spot for both phases. Okay, he's at 10%. Let's stop. Prep your shot, hit your interact key, and don't double hit it, because a new system is about to come up. So ball just came up. I'm going to hit 2.
Oh. Yeah, I get it 3.
Thank you.
I'll get 4.
Oh, I knew what the...
I'll
Yeah.
get 5.
I lied, buddy.
It's okay. It's really tricky with the
This.
aiming.
Alright, I could get 3 again. I'm redeeming myself.
You got it.
I'll
Oh,
get
wait.
2.
I mistimed it.
Yeah, you have to prep it before, and when you
Yeah, I pressed it the wrong time to prep it.
Mm-hmm. You want to try one more time for 3? Or, well,
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do 4.
nice.
Yeah.
Anyone got 5? So since we have a party of 5, this will require 10 shots cumulatively. It's just kind of annoying.
3.
I'll get 2.
A new system is about to come up again. Please watch out.
That's
Right.
That's right. We're okay. Usually during this time, we try to split evenly, or ball can go down. We all do, right? Okay. Just for the sake of demonstration as well, I'm gonna show the FMA, so let's keep stalling until the banner appears, and he does the FMA. Remember, when you see him do the FMA banner, you move away from him and do not stand on the platform above. Always move to the platform below, or if he's at the bottom, just away from him as far as possible. That one's back
Can you
up
like
there.
stand in when that ball attack happens? Can you stand in between 2 and not get hit, or do you just have to like not be near them at all? Like the explosions one.
That was the FMA. You have to stand in the
Left.
white spaces. Remember what I said about them being deceptive with the indicator? So if you're standing in 2 balls or 2 explosions that are like extra close, you will still get hit.
Okay.
Okay. Now that the natural system has appeared and stacked with his FMA system, there's 2 systems up. So what we're gonna do is try to send now. So everyone, like usually we would have an extra person bind here. We'll push for damage. Okay, remember, blink upwards so that high enough so that you can dodge either the breath or the dive. As long as you are standing right here, you should be good. Okay, 2-1 folks, go ahead.
Feet.
Regular bound.
I'll catch crit bind after.
Thank you. And again,
Secret
just for the sake
bind.
of demonstration, usually we would push or, yeah, usually we would push because this party breath is a lot stronger. Oh, accidentally sent. Okay. Bottom
Bottom.
bubble. Nice.
Oh, okay.
Top left.
Top right, top left. Sorry.
You're good. Once that pink explosion appears, you can leave the bubble.
Oh, I
Oh,
died.
that's okay. Whenever that happens, make sure that you're iframing. So if you have a Jenny
Yeah.
iframe, if you have any sort of like personal iframe, just iframe and let your party know I'm iframed for the test.
Wait, I don't remember. Was there a particular place to put fountain here? Or...
Yeah, just in the middle platform right here. So UFO just
uh-oh.
came up. Are we ready to send again? Do most people have their bursts?
I have 30 seconds.
Okay. 30 seconds is perfect. Test.
Left.
Bottom.
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 Where? That's you.
Top left.
Top right, top left.
Oh shit.
Nice. So he iframed that and he's safe. At
About
UFO
middle?
shooting mid. Be careful. Don't go there yet.
Mid.
Mid.
Okay. Once he stands up, the second group will do their... Oh, is it me? Ah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
you.
Ah. The second group will do their origin. Let's keep trying to shoot UFO while we are bursting. At first I had a really hard time when I was first starting Kalos, bursting and shooting at the same time, but it's possible. It's doable.
It's done.
Okay, let's go ahead and stall. Do not
Breath.
send, do not send. So turn all your summons off. Turn any extra forms of damage off. Dive. Go
He's
to
left
locate. Where is
mid.
he?
Left mid, bot mid.
Bot mid. Nice. Okay, left is up. So now that left is up, we make sure that we cleanse this in its entirety before we even try to send. He's bottom
Bot
left.
still.
Dive.
I think-
Dive.
Mid left. Nice. Bottom left.
Breath.
Laser. Or breath, sorry. You can see the color right there. It's indigo now, so we only have a few
Mid
more
left.
shots. Dive.
Dive.
Okay, let's go ahead and send now, since I think that was, well, 2 minutes. Right.
Right.
Get out. Top right.
Top right.
Get out. Left.
Left.
If your class has bad mobility, make sure that you are taking advantage of that smoke time to get back to the middle platform so that you can see any of the bubbles on your in your peripheral. I should mention,
I'm origin.
yeah, after he stands up. Nice. I should mention as well,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. We all ask after.
if left or right system are up, you can stand on the top left platform, like towards where left system is, and
UFO?
top right, and the shot, if you spam your shot, so like you don't let the angle change, you just spam it as it comes up, will always shoot into left or right, respectively. I'll do a little demo.
Unless you have really high ping.
Yeah, unless you have piping.
Top left.
UFO shooting mid right. Okay,
Up
FMA.
right.
Where is he?
Come
Bottom?
up.
Get
He's
away from him.
bottom left.
Nice. Okay, left is up. Everyone, please focus left.
Breath. Left.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I jumped right into it.
Dive.
Dive.
Mid left.
Mid.
We're about to have 3 systems up, so just be very, very careful. I think this might be enraged.
Yeah, left is shooting. UFO shooting left. Bot left.
Bottom
Right
left.
is also up dive.
Dive.
He's the bot left still.
He probably has breath up again. Breath, bottom.
Yep, breath.
Nice.
Left shooting again.
Ooh, this is not going well for Miss Vita. Oh, y'all need a door. Come here.
Where's here?
There you go. Knew I brought the right character.
Nice.
Dive.
He's mid.
When you start
Shooting
running
right,
the
right
virtual
shooting.
version of the boss, it's actually easier because you have more lives.
Where's he? Breath.
This is the hardest version.
I would just stay.
Yeah,
No,
UFO's almost close.
what I was going to ask
Dive,
is,
dive.
as far as descents go, is there a particular time, or is it mainly used for the iframe
It's
kind
used
of
for the
thing, or
iframe.
pushing anything?
If you want to push for damage in 2-4. Okay, I sent it, but 2 systems are still up.
Bottom.
Laser
So you can
just
pop it
shot.
here if you miss golden bubble.
Left.
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 Yeah, as you can see, because the arrows did shot towards the bubble,
Bot left.
you didn't
left.
get hit by it. And assuming like UFO was on us, we wouldn't get hit by that either. Yeah, if you have any ascents, you can go ahead and dump them here. Oh, let me do a demo of the far right shot. So,
Just wait.
Origin? Yeah.
Oh,
Wait.
shoot, sorry. I saw it pop up and then went.
Yeah, you're fine.
If you're standing there, if I didn't do a great job of it, but you should be able to cleanse that if you double tap it.
I better wait on my feet ascent skill.
Dive.
Oh.
Top right. Gagged you.
Okay.
Why'd you E-form on my body?
Let's go ahead and wait. So
Just
the
on you.
altar is there.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Everybody, I'm going to stop attacking just so that we get at least one curse on us. The bots come out, etc., etc. Dive.
Yeah, top mid, bottom
Okay.
left.
Oh, I got a curse.
Breath,
Yep,
breath,
everyone got a curse.
Ah.
Thank you. So I'm going to cleanse. I'm going to hold this. My curse goes away. That's pretty much it. You wait for the altar to come back up for somebody else to cleanse. It takes a while.
Dive.
Dive.
Mid.
Altar's back
Where's-
up. You
mid
should
right?
be
Oh.
cleansed. I'm just going to send it so we don't have to deal with multiple systems. But that's Kalos. Does anyone have any questions about that fight?
I don't know. I just really need to learn the laser a lot better.
Yeah, it's
I
really-
got hit by it twice.
It is
Where's
really,
this
really
shit going?
tough. But the indicator is helpful. It's really fast, but it's helpful
Yeah.
because what the indicator says is you have two options. You can either move away or hit your will skill preemptively and take a little bit of damage from the laser.
Oh, that actually wasn't the laser that killed me. It was Kalos' laser.
The breath. Yeah, breath.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was thinking of it as a laser cannon thing.
Yeah. Breath is very, very difficult. It's, what I think is the most difficult attack to deal with in P2. Okay. Any last questions before we take off? Perfect. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please make sure that you join us for next week for Calling. Depending on how long P1 takes to get, it might be split into 2 weeks. Calling and then Limbo the week after. So I will see y'all then. Bye.
What about